Top 10 African Fashion, Styles and Influences. Hello and welcome to our channel, where we celebrate the vibrant and diverse fashion scene of Africa. Today, we're excited to present to you our list of the top 10 African fashion styles and influences that have been making waves on the global fashion stage. Africa is a continent of rich cultural heritage, and the fashion scene is no different. From traditional fabrics and designs to modern takes on classic styles, Africa has something to offer everyone. So, sit back, relax, and let's dive into the world of African fashion and discover the top trends and influences that are making their mark on the fashion industry. The safari outfit. The most informal of all African fashion trends is this one. It is a typical appearance among Africans and is appropriate for any situation. This attire is appropriate for both work and errand running around town. The safari look is known for its khaki attire, belted bush coats, pith helmets, and slouch hats, and was popularized by British campaigns in Africa. Animal skin patterns are another common component of the look. The colors are typically vivid and comprised of numerous, frequently geometrical patterns. The fabrics used are typically cotton and linen, although they can also be silk, chiffon, or other cool weather-friendly materials. You should use the colors that make you happy. There is no set guideline for what they should be. One important aspect of this look is that there should always be one dominant hue, which will draw attention to the other colors around it. A simple approach to flaunting your sense of style without breaking any regulations is to wear safari style. The Ankara dressing. African fashion is particularly popular in the Ankara wearing style. It was created in Nigeria, a country in West Africa. It is a cotton fabric with embroidery that is frequently decorated with vibrant colors. This fashion of clothing, known as Ankara prints, is highly well-liked throughout West Africa, especially in Nigeria. The attire most frequently worn for weddings, funerals, and other significant occasions is the Ankara style. Often, neutral tone designs and colors are used to create Ankara dresses. Bamako dressing. Mali's version of Bamako dressing is a very well-liked African fashion trend. The majority of ladies wear this traditional West African attire style. In Bamako dressing, males wear baggy pants and women wear long tunics with dresses. Usually, a brightly colored cloth with stripes or geometric patterns is used to make the tunic. The dress has a fitted bodice that may be draped over either or both shoulders to accentuate the waistline. The loose-fitting skirt has a gathering or pleating that extends from the hips to just below the knees. Although it has existed for more than 200 years, it only really gained traction in the late 1800s when there was a rise in Western fashion. Because it can be challenging to look presentable when wearing traditional clothing outside, some ladies choose to save it for ceremonies only. Aso-ebi outfit. Women of Yoruba ethnicity wore aso-ebi, a Yoruba style of clothing, frequently in the 1950s and 1960s. Most women today wear it primarily as a fashion accessory to religious services, weddings, and other ceremonial occasions. Aso-ebi, a cherished style of traditional Yoruba attire, has come to represent Yoruba women. These are typically worn by women in Nigeria and the diaspora, but some Black American women have started wearing them too. They are typically worn by women at weddings and religious rituals, but they are increasingly seen at formal gatherings like job interviews. Since the majority of Yoruba people reside in Nigeria, Benin, and Togo, it is typical to see this particular fashion there. Throughout the 1950s and 1960s, aso-ebi gained popularity among ladies. The Yoruba people at this period were affected by Western culture, and many of them adopted Western dress styles. One of the few traditional outfits that made it through this time period unharmed was the aso-ebi. African Americans continue to find them to be appealing during this time. The Creole dress. The people of Sierra Leone, a West African nation in Western Africa, dress traditionally in the Creole. The Creole is often cotton-day clothing worn primarily by females. It has a long skirt with a belt and a square neckline. Typically, the Creole is worn with a hat, scarf, and occasionally a pareo. The Creole is regarded as a type of traditional clothing. The Creole is clothing that some wear for aesthetic or ceremonial purposes. Because it flatters any woman, regardless of body type, this style has become a global fashion standard among African women. Although this look is straightforward, it may be made sophisticated and lovely with jewelry or headwear. Kent. Ghana is the place where the centuries-old textile culture known as Kent cloth first appeared. It has come to symbolize cultural affinities from West Africa. Each block, pattern, and hue has a particular name and importance, and it incorporates adinkra symbols, which represent thoughts or sayings. A popular Kent pattern in Chui is Wofro Duapa na Yipiawa. Mudcloth. Mudcloth is a popular African textile, created by sewing together cotton strips and embellishing them with seasonal river mud. It is used for ceremonial wear and is worn by women, hunters, and travelers. Variations on the fundamental pattern have been made possible by the fabric's attractiveness, and some mud clothing is produced commercially for export. Maasai. The Maasai culture's attire and jewelry are unquestionably its most distinctive visual features. The traditional robe known as the shuka is mostly red in color. Although many have observed the resemblance to Scottish tartans, nobody is certain where the traditional plaid design originated. Depending on the age and socioeconomic standing, different clothing styles and colors are worn. Similar to this, traditional Maasai beaded collars use colors to indicate their age, social standing, marital status, clan, and more. The most significant hue is red, which stands for strength, courage, and bravery. The Maasai also think that red scares away predators like lions even from a distance. Because livestock is killed when communities join together to celebrate, red also stands for unity in Maasai tradition. White, which is the hue of cow's milk, stands for vigor and cleanliness. Green also represents health and well-being because it is the color of the grasses that cattle eat. Together, the sun and rain, blue for the sky, which brings rain, and yellow for the sun, bring the elements required for life. Black is a representation of the people and the struggles they face, while orange stands for warmth, camaraderie, and charity. Agbada. The Yoruba people of southwest Nigeria and the Republic of Benin wear the four-piece agbada. It consists of a huge, flowing outer robe, ososok, an undervest, awatel, a pair of long pants, sokoto, and a cap, flaw. The outer robe is a large, baggy, ankle-length cloth that gives the entire ensemble its name, agbada, which means voluminous attire. It is divided into 3 sections, large sleeves on either side of a rectangular centerpiece. The focal point has a neck hole, oren, and a sizable pocket, oppo, on the left side and is typically fronted and backed with intricate embroidery. Depending on how much a customer can spend, the embroidery's density and size might vary greatly. The buba, a loose, round neck shirt with elbow-length sleeves, and the dansiki, a loose, round neck, sleeveless smock, are the 2 different kinds of undervests. The Yoruba trousers come in a range of styles and lengths and all have a drawstring to fasten them around the waist. The 2 styles of pants that are most frequently worn with an agbada are soro, which is loose and wide-bottomed and falls just below the knee but not all the way to the ankle, and kem. To go with the agbada, a variety of headwear is permitted. The most popular is the gobi, which is cylindrical and is between 9 and 10 inches long. It can be crushed and shaped backward, sideways, or forward when worn. The abadi aya, which translates to the dog-eared one, is shaped like a crest and gets its name from the hanging flaps that can be worn to cover the ears in chilly weather. Otherwise, regular wear turns the 2 flaps upward. A larger variant of the abadi aya, the labankata, is worn in a way that reveals the contrasting color of the fabric used as the flap's underlay. Some stylish men could add a wraparound ornament to their agbada attire, ibora. To finish the look, a shoe or sandal, bata, may be worn. Bubu. The traditional Senegalese robe, known as the bubu, is worn by both sexes throughout West Africa as well as among West African diasporic populations in Europe and the United States. The bubu is typically 59 inches, 150 centimeters, broad and comes in a variety of lengths because it is made from a single piece of fabric. The grand bubu, the most elegant design, typically uses a length of cloth that is 117 inches, 300 centimeters long and falls to the ankles. The bubu is traditionally created by folding the cloth in half, creating a neck opening, then stitching the sides halfway up to create flowing sleeves. Women have a broad, rounded neck, while men have a long, V-shaped neck, with a big, 5-sided pockets typically cutting off the tip of the V. The appearance of a stately, exquisite carriage with magnificent height and presence is what the bubu provides for its user when it is stiffly starched and draped over the body. Guys dress in traditional bubu, with a matching shirt and pants underneath. It is worn by women with a matching head tie and wrapper or pain. And that concludes our video on Top 10 African Fashion, Styles and Influences. African fashion is a vibrant and diverse industry that draws inspiration from a rich cultural heritage and contemporary global trends. Through exploring the styles and influences of these 10 incredible African fashion designers, we hope to have given you a glimpse into the creativity, innovation, and beauty of African fashion. From traditional fabrics and patterns to modern silhouettes and designs, African fashion continues to captivate and inspire people around the world. Thank you for joining us on this journey, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more videos on fashion, culture, and innovation.